So the challenge was basically, it was a transition time. So we actually wanted to make sure that the transition uh, didn't fall into some kind of a situation where we couldn't maintain our leadership. Like our chapter is one of the oldest chapters and also one of the largest chapters, so that the challenges that we were experiences, it didn't reflect on the chapter. So leaning on past presidents, past leaderships actually helped us in that. So I would say it was a challenge, but it didn't look like a challenge because we all had a camaraderie and we followed up on that one. So the one of the most impactful time for my presidency, my term, was Women in Technology, which we did it in 2015, and we had about 45 people attending, only one male member attending, and that was Yehuda, and he is also the past president. And since then, I don't think Yehuda has missed one single event. Now we have increased the number of male participants, and that's actually very good. We actually have panelists who come, male panelists who come, and speakers. But I want to give this one out to Yehuda because I really appreciate that initial help that he provided. Our chapter received, I think, several international awards in communication, and one of the best chapters, large chapters, or something like that. But engagement has always been good. We always had, for GWDC, a lot of local participation. Our speakers are one of the top notch. Maybe because of the location that we are in, but also our participation increased all the time. Our membership grew, and I think it's still growing. So it's a good thing. And our membership, over time, it's an old chapter from 74 to now. The transition has been good. We have new members, young members who are joining. I think that increases the participation of the community. We actually ask our participants what they want to listen for the chapter, for our events and things like that. So I think the chapter does a great job of introducing new technology and things like that. So I think evolve. I think the only constant for us in this field is change, and it's constantly changing. So I always feel like, keeping abreast with the new technology and things like that. I mean, several years ago, we used to do events called IoT, and now we are doing cybersecurity. The last event I participated in, it was AI. So, it's constantly changing. It's not only like cutting edge technology, but also bringing in new technology. And I'm a people person, so I would just say I like virtual because it has its conveniences and things like that. But I also think if we do in person, you cannot beat that. I think people would like to know, and as leaders, people need to know who they are representing. So I think that would be one of my advices, that to have some hybrid situation where you have in person. Networking is, I think, one of the best things that GWDC did. Because, sometimes you hear a speaker, but you don't get a chance to talk through them. So having a networking event one-on-one, or sometimes people just don't want to ask those questions in a big forum. Everybody is different. So I think that having some in-person events and networking would probably be the best. I would encourage leaders to do that, or reach out to smaller groups and do things like that. It has such a tremendous effect. So when I first moved to Maryland, DC area, I didn't know anybody. And when I first got introduced to ISACA, I was just, it's a place to go kind of a thing. But eventually, as I started volunteering, I realized how important it was. I mean, it's just like, it wasn't like just a thing to do, but it was more like I want to do it so that I can meet more people. Ultimately, our community is actually very small, so getting to know people actually helps. It's not only for career progression, but also for, lean on people to get onto their expertise and things like that. So, I mean, I got to meet John Lanehart, who was my mentor for a long, long time. And I probably would not have met John if I did not join the chapter. And I'm just mentioning John, but there were so many other people I met and leaned on over the years. I think, and also volunteering actually has another charm to it. I use the word charm very deliberately, because sometimes we think that we are putting in time, but actually the give back is so much more. I mean, what we get back from volunteering is phenomenal.